Welcome to episode 119 of There's No Place Like Terra, a Stargate first watch, rewatch podcast. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace, and today we're going over Season 6, Episode 9, Allegiance, a.k.a. The Predator, a.k.a. Get to the Chopper! So before we get too far into it,
yes,
we want to say thank you and damn you.
Curse you!
Curse you. To everyone on Patreon who donated and got us to this goal that we're like, we'll set this goal and we'll never get to it.
Never.
So it'll be fine. Of video podcasting. Hi, guys.
Hi, I'm actually logging into my notes because I forgot to do that before we did record.
We're doing things. Kicking butt. So
now you have two options of listening to us every single week. You can listen to us on, your favorite podcast sound system thing, as well as on these videos now.
So you can watch us, or you can listen to us, or you can watch us and listen to us.
That'd be
I guess you can't watch us without listening.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can watch us on mute if you just want to see
a fun game.
Two ladies.
Start a drinking game. Every time, I'm gonna make.
I have no clue to make that.
Every time I go.
That's.
Does that work? Then you have to take a drink.
I think it could just be every time one of us takes a drink.
Every time
we don't vocalize it.
That's true.
By the way, we haven't gotten to show off before these really fancy mugs. And for those of you who are listening to this, for Christmas, I surprised Grace with these amazing mugs that I got off Etsy that says "There's no place like," and it's just the home symbol. Because it's basically the name of our podcast.
It's the coolest thing ever.
And this is what we have been having all of our drinks out of.
Because they're magic.
Since the start of
we haven't washed them. There's a nice little resin. Okay, fine, we have.
But it's fun. I've washed them.
Just kidding.
This is not a jersey.
But how much better would it be if we did it? And it's going to start growing a beard.
Can I just say, I do have a mug.
Oh, and by the way, thank you to a geek thing on Etsy.
Yes,
correct?
A geek thing.
Thing, like a G thing, but geek thing. Yeah. Nothing but a G thing.
Nothing but a G thing. Okay. I forgot what I was saying. I do have a mug at work that I used to make tea in that I never washed.
Oh yeah.
Because at one point, then it just automatically made tea when you put hot water.
Yeah, you're like, it's got resin. It's a resin base.
It's cured.
Also, when you're at work, I've never been lazier in my existence than at work when it comes to washing mugs. I have actually been down to the point of pour a little water in it, swirl it around, drink the water, and then wipe it clean.
Oh no, I'm sometimes
disgusting.
I'm sometimes have like a sip's worth of tea or 2 sips worth of tea, and I'm just like, meh, and I'll just pour coffee into it.
It's fine. It's fine. It all goes to the same place.
It tastes fine.
Yeah.
It's just fine.
This is fine.
It's fine. It's all good. Okay. So, this episode, Allegiance. Oh, you said you had a good AKA for this one.
I did. I just sent it to you.
Oh, you did.
But I'll say it again.
Yeah, I missed it.
AKA The Predator.
Yes.
AKA Get to the Chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Also, by the way, did everybody hear the story on how when Arnold woke up from surgery, he said, I'm back.
From outer space.
He had emergency heart surgery, and my guess is right before he went to bed, he said, or before they put him out, he said, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
And then he woke up and said, I'm back. Except it's more like, I'm back. Because they put you under and they put those tooth anyways.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
It's super not fun.
I did not hear that. I only heard that he waited for surgery. So, Allegiance first aired on August 9th, 2002. It was written by Peter DeLuise, directed by Peter DeLuise.
Nice. Good stuff. I would not have guessed this as a DeLuise one.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't have. Because it seems like it's not one of like the fun-loving, easygoing.
And I'm pretty sure there was no DeLuise cameo in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't on base. Pretty much all the cameos happened on base.
Right. This one felt a little more like the serious-y type of ones.
He's done serious-y episodes.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
But we do have both Carmen and Tony together.
Forever.
Making an awesome, Jacob Braytac sandwich of awesomeness.
A breakup sandwich.
A breakup sandwich. That is their new, was it Putman? No.
Portmanteau.
Portmanteau, I was close.
Yeah, Portman gnomes. It's the gnome version of it.
Portman
They're
gnomes.
both gnomes. Named Braytech and Jacob.
To be fair, Braytech would be an awesome gnome.
He would be a really good rogue gnome.
I love Dave the Gnome so much. I have a little Sam that's a gnome.
Oh, I like gnomes.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have gnomes in your backyard, right? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, and I really want some of
your
the
home.
Star Trek ones.
I need to get to. That's probably why the fence fell.
Probably.
You didn't have a gnome back there protecting you. Done.
Anyways, we have Carmen and Tony in the same episode. It's basically one of the greatest things that's ever happened in life. So we start.
Also, we have a Janet back and forth.
We do have a Janet.
Yes.
Doing some awesome Janet shiznits.
Yes. She's Janeting it up.
Janet, she's just jamming.
Guys, I'm not looking at the floor. There's a Kaylee down here.
Yeah. This is a fun thing that now sometimes you're able to watch this video. You'll just see dogs sometimes, and then you'll see what we're able to hide when we try to calm the dog, and there's no calming of the dog.
Yeah, the very insistent dog was like, "You must pet me now, pet me now."
And you also see the half moved. We're recording in what would not be the studio for much longer.
Oh yeah.
So we start on the Alpha site, and the first time we finally get to see the Alpha site. And we've been talking about it for a while. We haven't gotten the rights to. We didn't know the code to go to the Alpha site.
Right.
So
Alpha E
in secret that we didn't know it. So there's running and there's Jaffa and there's yelling and Janet's doing her badass trauma-ing.
It's mass hysteria.
There's cats and dogs
living together.
Jaffa and Tok'ra.
And that man has no dick. Oh, I thought we were just doing Ghostbusters references. Yes, it's true. I thought that's where we were going.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're going. But there's some more. But Tok'ra are the ones running through the gate. The Jaffa aren't even on the planet. And more comes for Jack and Sam are just watching what goes on. When we learn that, later learn that his name is Ocker. Helps carrying a large box.
Ocker's the one with the meticulously waxed brows.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Who dies very soon. Yeah. He doesn't last for long.
I'm there.
Those eyebrows, man. But they have a big box, and the Jaffa are not okay with this giant box. And even Teal'c's like, "What the fuck's in the box, dude?
What's in the box?" And John Doe's got the upper hand.
And immediately I just go to a Lonely Island video.
Oh, see, I went right to 7 and Morgan Freeman.
Yes, I haven't seen 7.
Oh! So Brad Pitt freaks out his partner and he's like, John Doe's got the upper hand. John Doe's got the upper hand. And then John Doe, well, can I spoil it for you?
I'm sure.
Spoilers, guys.
Is it a head?
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
I was right. That was a legit guess out of nowhere that it was a head.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the reference to 7, so immediately bartender Nick just went to it's a dick in a box, and I went, see that reference I get. Yeah. It's just a giant dick in the box.
I got your back.
So
bartender Nick.
And Jack's like,
I'd rather a dick in a box than a head in a box.
Yes.
I mean, unless I don't know. If it's just the box, then maybe no. Oh God, no.
Anyways, but then Jack's like, just tell us what's in the box. It's just a Zar tag. Zar tag.
Yeah.
I can never say that word.
We all get nervous going through customs.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening.
All that's happening.
We're just like, it's like when you come back, anytime I go anywhere, I'm like, I know that I'm not carrying any contraband.
No.
And yet I'm scared out of my mind.
But I also know that I'm probably carrying more than the duty-free amount of scotch in my backpack.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's the question of, are they going to let me slide through, or are they going to make me pay the duty?
Yeah.
Thankfully, luckily, get right through.
Just hide it.
They're like, are you going to drink all that? Yes, this is all for me.
Yeah, look at me.
Look at me. I am. This is my scotch.
I will drink it right now.
No, you gotta like it. You gotta like it linger. Anyways, and Jack is like, look, I'm fine. You just had to tell us what was in the box. And more SG units are coming through. Tok'ra are coming through. Because apparently what happened is Anubis knew where the secret Tok'ra base was, and they like took on SG-12 without blinking. And we later learned that when the fighting broke out, they actually tried to dial Earth, but they got a busy signal.
Yeah,
which we later learn is because of Jonas.
Yeah, Because Jonas reasons.
Because Jonas reasons.
Good job, Jonas.
And so Jacob, he's the only...
I was busy going, where is Jonas? Why is he not here? I cannot think straight.
You get him for like half a second.
I know.
But Jacob is the only one there who knew the address to the alpha site, so he dialed it up with secret. Although I'm also going, wouldn't SG-12 know the address of the alpha site? Or is it...
Yeah, well, no. Well,
is it like only the top 3 SG team?
Maybe.
And only the commander? So does Sam know the address to the alpha
maybe
site?
not. Well, she probably does because it's Sam. But she's probably not supposed to.
So does Teal know the address to the alpha site?
No. I think she knows it the way, like... So I used to have a boss who was like, I know you don't have a key to this office. And I'm like, I don't have a key to this office.
I know you don't have a key.
And then would call sometimes and be like, I need something out of this office. And I'd be like, okay, let me find someone to get a key to this office. But that's basically how Sam knows it.
That's a question. Like, does Teal'c know? is Braytak like the only of the Jaffa leaders that know the address?
Yeah,
that's now a question. Like, if SG-12 didn't know and Jacob was the only one on the planet, or is Jacob simply the only one of the Tok'ra that knows? Which that I would understand.
I don't know things.
It's a question that popped ahead as I was watching this. So anyways, Jacob is next to come through. He's breaking the DHG first with basically a nuke.
Yeah.
To break it.
Yeah.
And he comes through a moment after
Kill
Sam
it with fire.
Kill it with fire. And just as he comes through, he gets a staff weapon to the leg that he brushes off very quickly because of Junior.
Yeah.
His Junior.
I'm fine.
Well, his isn't really a junior.
Yeah.
His is an adult. It's a
This
Selmac.
is a...
Braytak has a junior.
He does.
Yeah.
Huh. Now we gotta rename his.
Selmac.
I'm gonna call him Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Hyde?
I don't know. I'm done. I need more coffee.
We're introduced then to Malik, who is the commander, or should I say former commander of the base that is no longer a thing. And Aker
is longer. I don't know why that just sounds really cool.
And also, apparently only a quarter of the Tok'ra made it out of the base alive, which is yikes.
Yeah, that's not a lot. And there's not a lot of Tok'ra to begin with. So basically, we're losing people.
Yeah.
Shit's in the fan.
And that's when the Tok'ra are like, there's a lot of Jaffa here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Jaffa in here. Like,
this is where I started having trouble with the Tok'ra.
The Tok'ra are problematic, and they have been they're as arrogant as the Gould are.
Yeah. They've got this like unlikable high elf feel to them.
But and I think the reason, and it could be a direct correlation, the same reason a lot of the high elves are also arrogant assholes is Selmac, and I don't know if I'm assuming Malik is the Tok'ra and not the host, but Malik and Selmac have been fighting. They have been around for 1,000 years fighting this. And so even Braytak, who's 137, that's a kid.
Yeah. But it doesn't make it feel
any less shitty. But I think that I think there's the same reason you get the same arrogance from the Tok'ra as you would from like the High Elves, from an Elrond type thing. Blah. And Malik just sort of sneers at all of this, and he's not hiding his lack of fandom of the Jaffa very well.
And he's like, you guys are here. It's like having in-laws that you don't like over or something.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah, lucky you. I don't either. I don't know why I said that. But I have had, like there's the family that you really enjoy, and the family that you're like, oh, there's Aunt here. And your mom's like, come downstairs and say hello. Because if we have to suffer through
you get to suffer through and the rebels, we learned that the Jaffa rebels are growing in numbers against the Empire. Yeah. Because the rebels and the Empire, get it?
Rebel bases.
Star Wars.
I wrote that too. I wrote rebel bases.
And apparently there's hundreds more Jaffa who are acting as a fifth column against inside the Gould forces. Just like the Tok'ra Jack points out. And they're like, so is all this Jaffa going to be a problem for you? Is that going to be an issue?
Dun dun.
And they're like, no, we're fine.
I'm gonna break the fourth wall for a second.
That's fine.
Should I move this over?
Yeah, probably, because I'm really hoping that you picked all me up on the mic.
We got it.
Got it. We're done. Love podcast. But yeah, the Tok'ra are super convincing when they're like, "No, we're fine.
I'm gonna make Haley.
We're good
because she keeps smacking my legs."
By the way, the fifth column is, I'll be honest, it's a term that I've heard for ages and I never really knew 100% what it meant.
The fifth column.
The fifth column. So apparently it's a group that undermines from the inside. So so the name apparently comes from the siege of Madrid. Kaylee agrees. In the Spanish Civil War, there was a general Emilio Mola, and he told a journalist in 1936 that he had 4 columns approaching Madrid. And there was a 5th column inside the city. And those supporters were fucking with the government from within the city.
Those are things I've never even heard of.
Yeah, so that's when the term spread, and Hemingway used it in the title of his play, The Fifth Column, and the first 49 stories. And so it picked up a lot in World War II, you know, especially with journalism.
Yeah.
And considering, you know, all the governments had not just spies on the inside. I'm going to break down to Hamilton. Spy on the inside. It's just named Hercules Mulligan.
I do like that. No, I just imagine Busta Rhymes.
I think he was based off Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
But so in World War II, but you had all of these, and they weren't just spies on the inside of other cities that were fucking with the governments. It was the locals, and it was this larger movement. And so that's the concept of the fifth column. It's the rebels inside the city.
Rebel bases.
So there's Rebel Jaffa inside.
The Princess Leia's, if you will.
They're the Princess Leia's.
Oh, I like it.
Yes. And then we get credits. All that happened before credits.
I don't even know where I wrote credits in my. I'm so lost in my notes today. It's kind of the best thing, the best feeling to be this lost in your notes on your first line. Like on your podcast.
Yeah, so you're fumbling around.
I'm just like, I have no idea.
People don't see all this normally.
Yep, I have no idea where we are, and that's
part of the charm. So when we come back, we have a Tok'ra funeral pyre thing, and everyone's standing for respect to you and Tok'ra and
thank goodness we've got a Teal'c guide through this.
Yes, to translate.
He's like, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to a new church.
And a mass that you're not familiar with.
And you're like, sit down. Now stand up. Now sit down.
Now do this with your hands. Now do this with your hands. And gesture like this.
Now kneel some more and then stand up.
Don't speak here, but speak here.
Also, we're very, very Catholic. So kneel and then stand up and then kneel.
Kneel and then stand up and then kneel and then keep kneeling. Do not put your butt on don't put your butt on the chair.
Don't do it.
You have to sit there with your own weight on your knees. Don't put your butt on the back of that chair.
Okay, now stand up and we're gonna 10 more times. And then we'll be halfway through.
We'll be halfway done. So it's basically the Stargate version of a Viking funeral, kind of combined, as Peter points out in the commentary, sort of a Native or First Nation tree burial.
I was gonna say it's a lot like a woman I know recently went to one and witnessed it, and she told me a lot of what it sounds like like this.
Yeah,
so
and
very interesting.
And I know they did it for a number of reasons. Partly, sometimes the ground was frozen. They didn't want anyone walking over the grave. They didn't want animals to be able to get to it. There was a number of different reasons they did these like scaffolding tree burials. And they also, the Tok'ra do this because that way they could never be revived by a sarcophagus.
Right.
And so if you press the center button,
it's like a zombie.
Yeah. Oh, we double tap the head.
Yeah.
So they double tap the head by pressing the center button of the DHD, and you just get a koosh.
Yeah.
Like there's no Stargate dialing.
That works.
And everyone
goes. It's a nice little use of the DHD. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna. It's like I'm gonna start clearing the forest this way. Or
it's almost. I want someone to use it like as a weapon. Like someone stands in front of the Stargate and they're just like, bam.
Yeah.
And they go to part their own ways.
Would that be an improvised weapon? I wonder. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it.
They start to go their ways, but tussles already are starting to be the ranks between our
my favorite part.
Really?
Because it's some Jerry Springer shit. Who fights at a funeral? Other than like 2 baby mamas.
Let me even point that out too.
Yeah.
This is a goddamn funeral.
Yeah. Act like you've been here.
And Jack's like, I'm sure it's a misunderstanding. Artok's like, no, it's not.
He's like, this was my man.
I fucking did this on purpose.
It feels very Jerry Springer.
He's like, because to me, you guys are the same as the Gould.
Yeah.
And which causes Teal'c to, I mean, he just yells, Jaffa. That's like me going to you, human.
Yeah. Yeah. Please, yeah.
And
I love that. It's scary dad mode, which is then only beat later on by another moment that I wrote down. But it's like the one word, like, don't make me go back there.
And it's enough. Like, Artuk shuts up when he hears Teal. Yeah. And
I need Teal to teach me how to do that with Stormy.
Yeah, because I need him.
Because Stormy is a very good boy, but when he doesn't care, he doesn't care.
He does not. Gives no parts ways and storms off in a huff. And Malik doesn't expect Jack to apologize for Artuk. I mean, I get the Jaffa. And Jack's like, well, I mean, I was just going to remind you, and actually that your asses will be pushing up daisies with Jaffa back there, so maybe give him a little slack. Although it is a funeral for his fallen people, so maybe less slack than you would think.
Yeah, but the Trump are just kind of been pricks.
They've been pricks. And yes, so the Jaffa and the Tari are also in the Tok'ra. So, I mean, they've been fighting gold for millennia. So everyone's just like, no, all debts are paid, bitch.
Yeah, we're good. Everyone's fighting the same thing, so let's all fight each other
exactly.
now. Because that makes sense?
That makes total sense. So Jack's mood does not improve when Sam comes along, and apparently the Tok'ra don't like their one-star accommodation hotel rooms, and Jack is about ready to shoot everyone.
Yeah, because they're kind of being pricks.
They're kind of being
pricks. Like, there was no mint on my pillow. It's like, bitch, you're happy you have a pillow. Be happy you have a pillow.
Be happy you have a bed.
Yeah.
So Jacob is watching the Jaffa train.
Yes, I do love the little martial arts montage.
Yes.
It feels very Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Only better.
So the whole thing earlier at the funeral, it's complicated. And even Jacob points out that blending does have some drawbacks. Like there is, for as many years as they've been around, there is a bit of a trigger finger. And they reminisce about that whole time Jack was a Tok'ra thing.
Except not really.
Yeah. But he does point out that both of these men, Jacob and Jack, would be dead right now without, if they didn't blend. Well, Jack never really blended, but if they didn't have the Tok'ra.
Yeah.
And that Kanan broke one of the highest Tok'ra laws. I mean, Selmak was disgusted by it. But he tries to balance it out that Kanan was trying to do a right. He did a horrible wrong, but he was trying to do a right.
Right.
And he's like, you can forgive that, right, Jack? And goes, no.
No. Yeah, it is a bummer. It's like
the
first time that Jack has the opportunity to experience this, he gets a real shitsville experience. It's kind of like if you're like, I'm finally going to try this vegetable that I've never tried. And then you get food poisoning.
Yeah.
You're like, well, fuck
or it's just
forever.
Prepared horribly.
I always knew.
And Jacob is really bummed that Jack didn't get the full true blending experience to really understand the Tok'ra. And Jack's like, I'm good with that.
Real life podcasting people.
I'm okay.
Sorry.
And I mean, Jack's like, look, I like you. That's enough. Just not as much the rest of the Tok'ra.
Sure.
And Jacob understands, the Jaffa from the Tok'ra side and like the host side, because for thousands of years, Selmak has been seeing his brothers in arms die at the hands of the Jaffa.
Right.
And they're still getting killed by Anubis' Jaffa. Like, yes, that's two different entities.
It's hard to see that they're different.
It's hard to see them as allies right now.
Yeah.
And the Tok'ra fear...
If you look like the bad guy, it's hard to not look at you like the bad guy.
Which has not caused any problems in life. I just figured
out what's wrong with my coffee. There's no alcohol.
There's no alcohol. That's true. I mean, I can fill if you want to go put alcohol in it.
We're good.
Okay. But it's... The Tok'ra are about to get wiped out. Like, that's a harsh reality.
They're getting real low on,
Tok'ra. Yeah. And the Jaffa rebellion isn't really taking off the way that they thought that the Jaffa rebellion would take off in either. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of rough times all around from everyone. So even the Alpha site has a tech center for Sam to take over.
Yeah, there's everywhere. She finds one everywhere. She's like, well,
she'll make
this work. Yeah.
She'll make one. They have a NACA reactor powering this place. Better than a generator, because God, I hate the noise of generators. But apparently it's been messed with. If she wasn't so goddamn good at what she does, no one would have noticed it. And it would have overloaded, and it would have destroyed miles, and there's no way it was an accident.
Yeah, this is where it's like something science.
Oh, this isn't even the sciencey part.
Okay, got it.
And so Jack basically backs everyone to the Stargate, defend the Stargate, because if someone rigged it to blow, they want to get off world before it blows.
Got it.
So no one gets to go through the Stargate, and we get a Teal'c indeed. I forgot to check if we get a second one, but I know there's one there. So Jack radios in to catch Hammond and Jonas up on the fun.
Yeah, this is my only shot of Jonas.
And he doesn't get to come because until they figure it out, no one come in or out of the Alpha site.
Okay, fine.
No Jonas. That's all you get. And after,
luckily, we have some Braytech.
We do get Braytech. So after they close the gate again, Jack doubles up the guard to the gate. And Malik notices that the guards are doubling, but I need to get through to find a new base. And Jack's like,
no, thank you.
No, you're not.
So you stay here now.
We have a saboteur.
I lose confidence. Like I very much mistrust this dude. As Nixie gets the drink, yeah. Okay. I very much mistrust this dude. Basically all the way till the end. Okay. But right now I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you at all. I don't trust you a little bit. Do you have
some of the same prejudice that Jack has against the Tok'ra?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I do.
At least you understand.
Maybe I just think they're like very haughty and full of themselves.
They are.
Maybe.
They are. And this site was chosen.
Yeah, I think I would be a rebel Jaffa.
Okay. So this site was chosen as the Alpha site because the Goa'uld don't know where it is, and they need to keep it a secret. So they're going to be questioning everyone, starting with the Tok'ra, because the shit didn't hit the fan until the Tok'ra showed up. Oh, remember that Zartag detector that we brought to the planet?
Yeah.
Maybe plot. So Malik is the first one to get hooked up, and he passes according to Jacob. No problem.
This is the fancy lie detector, right?
It's a fancy lie detector.
The same one that we used a while back to discover other things. Got it.
And
I don't have weird feelings about this machine at
all. Again, out the window we see Artak and Akar do that like shoulder check at the craft services station.
Yeah. What, dude? What, bro? Hey, bro. Just
you took the last roll. Hey. And Teal'c's like, no, bro. No.
Yeah.
Not worth it, bro. And
we've got a game on Friday. You don't want to get suspended before the game. Just by high school.
So Jacob will check the wounded Tok'ra, not like they could get up and around because
wounded Tok'ra,
wounded. Good, yeah. And if nothing comes from that, the Tal'ri will rescreened, and then Braytech's like, yeah, I'm really hoping we're not going to have to screen us Jaffa because somehow
that devil box is going to steal our soul. Is basically the plot.
Yeah, that's basically how it rolls.
The devil box is going to steal our soul. Yeah.
And Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a box to steal. And so, yes, Jack points out, like, if the Tok'ra volunteer and the Tal'ri volunteer and then the Jaffa don't, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's just a weird eye exam machine. And just get in there and try it on.
And Braytech's like, no, that's fine. Like, it questions your honor, the machine, is what Braytech, and also the Tok'ra made it. I'm going to be honest. It's because the Tok'ra made it.
I'm just prejudiced against Tok'ra and all Tok'ra.
And Jack's like, that's not even a good reason, dude. Just got to come up with something else.
He's like, I just don't want it.
And Braytech's like, I'm 137, bitch. Can you really look at me in the eye and tell me that you actually trust the Tok'ra?
Yeah.
And Jack's like, that's... Look, you're gonna get screened with everyone else.
Yeah. Also, that 137 years brought up thoughts of our origins when we said
no. I want a freaking Braytech origin story.
Well, no. This is what I was thinking. We all did a little bit about what we would do if we had the money to make a Stargate now.
Oh yes.
And mindset was set in the future. And I thought, well, shit, Teal'c definitely can still be around.
Yeah, he's like 87, so yeah, he can totally be around.
Definitely still exist and still be a badass. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, he could be like 50 years older and still be badass.
That's what I mean. Just throwing that out there. Okay, I'm done. All the drinks are happening.
Also, another actual origin story. I tweeted this. So I'm watching Atlantis.
Yeah.
And you don't get to watch it yet. And there's a character in Atlantis who you're going to really love. His name is Zelenka.
Okay.
He's really awesome. And I basically went with...
Sounds like Plinko, but I'm okay with it.
I'm like, I really just want like a Zelenka origin story and I tagged David Nickel who portrays him, and then David Nickel retweeted it, and then Muchville retweeted it, and there was a lot of commotion about
then he told two friends, and then he told two friends.
About a Zelenka origin story.
Let's do it.
And
I'll make it. I'm gonna write it because I have no idea who this person is.
You have no idea
I
who
don't
this
even know
person
if it's
is.
female or male.
Or like what the person does.
Or if they're human or not.
You have no clue. All you have is a name.
They are a dog.
Okay, Zelenka's a dog.
It's a dog. At night.
Okay.
And by day.
So a werewolf.
Yeah, well,
okay.
At night, not just once a month.
Okay, so at night. He's a night wolf.
He's a night wolf.
Night wolf. Working on those night wolves.
I was thinking there is a video game called Night Trap that
Okay,
came out sometime in the night. It's awful. Nobody knows it. Nobody should know it. It was when video games were awful and they had like live video in them. Like live people. Like, oh, guys, watch Game Grumps playing Night Trap. And then you can thank me, yell at me, curse at me later. Night Trap.
Working on those night traps.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm just trying to break into Bob Seger, and I can't quite get into the rest of the lyrics after that.
Because yeah, who knows what they are?
Sorry. Well, no, I know what they are. I was trying to like on the spot reword them into night wolves, and it wasn't.
Guys,
working.
improv is not our best.
Nope. Thing. So, anyways, Jack does not. He just you're going to get scanned and Braytek's like, fine, I'll convince the Jaffa, and if nothing else, it'll try to convince the Tok'ra that we are equals with them. So outside. They're called out to find Akker's been killed to death.
Yeah.
Killed to death.
We lost a dude.
To which Malik immediately assumes it was Artok. Which to be fair, Artok's like, yeah, I kind of wish it was me.
I wish I had done it. It's like, dude, you're not helping your case. No. I would have, but I didn't. Can you stop?
Just stop talking.
Stop.
I think you can.
I would hate to be that guy's lawyer. Just shut your fucking mouth. Just shut it.
He was across the compound. I was dead at the time.
Yeah.
And he does not appreciate being
accused. My friends, the other Jaffa, will vouch for me. It's like, okay, that's useless.
And he refuses to be screened until Braytek wordlessly convinces him and gives him the mom stare that he will.
Yeah. Whereas Teal'c had like the dad one line.
Braytek has done such a glare.
Don't fucking move a muscle.
I know. Mom has like a library of those looks.
Yeah.
There's like 10 of them.
I knew what they were without so in the back seat, without them turning around, the body posture. This is probably why I'm a communications major now. It's what kept me alive as a child. The body posture would just change, and then there was like this head tilt, and you could see from the back seat where you're like, I done fucked up.
I'm gonna stay quiet now. I'll be quiet.
I was just coloring the whole time.
I didn't say anything.
I didn't ask for the 200th time how far away we are.
I'm quiet. See how I'm reading.
My favorite thing to do, which actually again works out well for what I do now because of deadlines, I'd be like, how many minutes? How many minutes away are we now? How many minutes away are we now? How about now? It's been 5 minutes. Do the math.
I don't do math.
I actually got to the point where on 8-hour drives, my dad would play a game with me.
How long can you be quiet?
If I was quiet, he would play this game with me where he'd be like, let's estimate our time of arrival.
Oh, yeah,
and
I just
you're right
did that.
Within 5 minutes. No, but this was at like the beginning of the trip.
Okay.
8 hours before the thing, you'd be like, if you're within 5 minutes of right, you get money. But you can't ask the whole drive. You can't ask the whole drive. You can't ask. You get one ask in the middle of the trip and you're done.
So did you have to tell him what time you think you'll arrive?
Yep.
Oh, so he basically would just like stall or speed up to never have to pay you. Okay.
Basically.
That sounds like something my dad would have done.
Yeah. But dumb me never figured it out until I was like 9. I was like, I don't think you're done. I'm listening to Nirvana.
So they start scanning Artok. He was eating alone with no alibi. Convenience. And he passes his R tag, no problem. And then he says he did not kill him. And that does not pass. That does not pass.
Yeah.
and they go to move him to a holding cell as he professes his innocence to Mr. Braytech.
So this is when the other Tok'ra, the very vocal ones, like, they didn't, this thing happened and all this other stuff.
Oh, they do that like every other scene.
So there's one particular guy whose name I don't know because I don't know names.
Yeah.
Who's standing there while this is happening and is very instigating, like, more stuff. I don't trust in particular.
The guy with the blondish hair?
Yes.
That's Malik.
Malik.
Yeah.
Okay. In particular, I don't trust Malik.
And so he is surprisingly calm about this whole thing. And I think that's because he respects Braytech so much to go into this holding center. And Malik just kind of assumes that Artak is guilty. Yeah. This is where I'm like, okay, this is almost so overdone that I feel like he killed the Tok'ra. Yeah. For the sake of blaming the Jaffa. And because, you know, really all the Zartek detector says is that he's lying about something. They don't know what that thing is. That's almost worse than, like, no lie detector. It is. And they also know the Machine Kid is known to give false positives. It's like, yeah, bitch, I lied about my weight the other day, so fuck off. So his hatred of the Tok'ra might be fucking with it, because remember the whole time that Jack gave a false positive because he had feelings for Sam, and that fucked up the system? It's the same thing that we're dealing with. Why are we still using these machines that are only sort of working? Part of the problem. Yeah. So... also, Malik is not going to accept the word of any Jaffa in this whole deal now at this point. And of course, they just have to wait to see what the autopsy says, because that's Janet and everyone trusts Janet. Yeah, enter CSI Stargate. That's literally what it is. And the tension is building. It's just... And Malik admits that, look, a lot of Tok'ra have died. Yeah. And it's really difficult to me to see another one die in this place that was supposed to be a refuge. Yeah. And he has a strong point there. Mm-hmm. So our main group goes to see what they can learn from Janet in her CSI tent. Yeah. And his mouth was bruised because the killer covered his mouth from behind. Yeah. And there was an exotic bladed weapon that hit the back of his neck and severed both the spine of the host and the symbiote in one go. That's a great little X-ray CG that they did. I'm a fan. It was really cool. And Teal'c and Braytech are convinced that this was not a Jaffa. Because vengeance happens face to face, right? Never from behind. And Malik's like, I don't believe you. The Jaffa have no chance if you're fighting face to face, so that's why he had to go from behind. Oh, please, yeah. So not only is he a dick, he's like questioning everything they stand for. Yeah, yeah. And then the alarm sounds, and they run into the holding cell, and now Artak is dead. So it's not surprising, but I definitely feel worse about the Jaffa versus the Tok'ra that died. It's not surprising for me. Yeah. It's like, no shit, Grace has more feels for the rebel feely Jaffa than you do the emotional robots that are the Tok'ra. Yeah. So later, Janet admits that this death is different. It was from the front, but there was also a bladed weapon. She's not quite sure if it was the same one yet or not. But the door was locked. So, and the sergeant, the Tal'Ri sergeant, didn't see anything. So what, the killer came in, unlocked the door without anyone noticing, killed him without a fight, then locked the door back up and no one saw him? Like, there's not even any defensive wounds. Yeah. So anything Malik can suggest is if his attacker knew and trusted his killer. Yeah. So sometime later, the Tal'Ri are carrying Artak's body out, and Ragnar expresses his frustration with the situation again, and Teal'c is like, not the time nor place, bro. Yeah. Just calm. And Ragnar and Malik are about to go at each other's throats, to the point where Artak grabs his arm and Malik just whacks someone in the face, then all the weapons are pointed at everyone. This is where you get, like, the really cool, like, battle. Yeah. The Avengers Civil War / West Side Story / they're gonna Michael Jackson's Bad Video. They're gonna dance it out. Yeah, basically everyone. They're gonna tie each other's voice together, and then whatever happens at the end of that video, do they dance off? I don't know, because I'll be honest, I've seen the music video for Eat It way more than I've seen the music video for Bad. So he just blows up really big. That's how the it ends. Okay. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but Ragnar has, and I don't remember this in an earlier episode. He may have done it in an earlier episode and I missed it, but Ragnar has forcibly removed his symbol from his forehead. Yeah, he like, and it's just his own scar now. Yeah,
because that's how strongly he feels about rebellion.
Because passion.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm actually surprised more
I feel
Jaffa
like he
done
did in
this.
the mirror, too. Like, he was like, I'm going to remove this side. Like, very dramatic.
Very
dramatic.
But I'm actually, like I said, I'm more surprised that more Jaffa haven't done that.
Yeah. Well,
haven't burned their mark
He hasn't
off.
quite convinced them all yet. Like, they're like, nah, dude, you're a little too...
It's a little too intense.
Also, when you do that, you can't be used as an infiltrator.
This is true. You can't be. Yeah, that's a good point.
So maybe that's their thought. They're like, nah, we have to
good point.
Be careful.
So, and then Jack walks up and is like, hey, guys, what you doing?
What's going on
Can
here?
we put the weapons down a little?
This is where I would have been like, sweet, a line for me to walk through.
And Braytac calls Jack and Teal'c over because there's footprints. Very obvious footprints. And Malik's like, are the footprints Jaffa and Tok'ra? And I want Braytac be, bitch, please, how in the fuck am I supposed now? Unless doesn't walk around barefoot or something.
Yeah.
Like,
you see our feet? We all have the same goddamn feet.
We don't have like a J or a T embedded in the bottom of our boots.
Do I look like a damn hobbit? I don't know.
So now they're going to do a head count, and everyone gets to line up for a head count.
The benefit of having a camera is I can fix my hair using the camera's webcam.
So good news, everyone's accounted for. But bad news, that means that there's someone or something.
Yeah.
Or as Jack puts it, dare I say something?
Yeah, it's the smoke monster.
It's a smoke. A Tok'ra and a Tari in each group.
A Tok'ra, a Jaffa, and a Tari.
Walk into a bar.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
Walk into an alpha site. So they're playing Where's Waldo out in the woods. And we see one group has Jack, Braytac, and Malik. There's another one that has Jacob, Sam, and Ragnar. And another one that has Teal'c, Pierce, and random Tok'ra.
Yeah.
Red shirt Tok'ra.
Yeah.
And Teal'c's group comes across a dead trio. Apparently, each of the three of them was killed and then dragged to one location. Nice. And at the same time, where Jack is, he sees something invisible in the forest. Okay, let me rephrase that. You can't see something. He sees movements.
Yeah, he sees the equivalent of like run for your fucking life in the forest. Like if I saw that type of movement in the forest, I'd be like, gotta go.
Gotta go. Bye.
I saw that type of movement in a tree. So behind our house, there's a forest.
Yes.
I saw that type of movement in our backyard, and I went, and this is how ridiculous I am, and I locked our back door. Because whatever animal is in the tree can unlock the door. Like, he can open the door.
Yeah, clearly.
But if I lock it, we're fine.
Yeah,
we're
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the weirdest thing I encountered out in the woods? No. It's to the point where I actually kind of want to write it into a My Favorite Murder mini-sode. I just have to find the right prompt. I was out with a group of probably 5 people camping for the night on a mountain in college. Of course, we didn't leave for the mountain until like 10 o'clock at night because we had to stop and get hot dogs.
That is the opposite of staying out of the forest. Okay.
No, we didn't even park until it was clearly dark.
Yeah.
And so we all had flashlights, and it was like 2 miles until the spot we were camping at because, of course,
why not?
And then we're camping. Like there's a tiny little creek over to like this the what direction is this? This is left hand side.
Sure.
And I'm letting there was a Boy Scout there, so it's like, you guys put the tents up. I'm gonna hold the flashlight for you. So I'm holding the flashlight, and I hear rustling behind me.
That's a good.
So I swing the flashlight over to the other side of the. Grizzly old mountain man in overalls with no shirt and barefoot without a flashlight.
Nope. That's when you get the fuck out of there.
Just standing there as if I had spooked him.
Nope. And he was coming to murder you guys. and
then he looks at us, and then he just keeps walking. And I put the flashlight back.
Oh, so he's just gonna go murder someone else.
And I was like, did anyone else see that? And they're like, no. And I put the flashlight back, and he's gone.
Yeah.
And
that's a murder.
No, we stayed there for the night.
That's a murder. That's how you get murdered.
We did not stay sexy, but we did not get murdered.
Jesus.
We did not leave. We just continued to pitch up camp.
I am mad at young Nixie.
I didn't know any better. I was young and naive. No one else saw it except for me.
Got it.
Okay. So
invisible monsters.
Yeah, invisible monsters.
I'm mad at you.
So Jack hand gestures the other two, and they head off, assuming knows what the hand gestures mean. I do find it interesting here that Braytak and Malik sort of let him take the lead. Let Jack take the lead.
Huh.
Both of those people are actually much more experienced in combat than Jack.
I think it's because they're both so upset about the situation that they're...
I didn't know if it had anything to do with it because it's a Tal'Ari alpha site.
I think it became a waving of dicks, and Jack was like, you both have shown some signs of fucked up in this right now. I'm taking the lead. And he didn't think his bluff would work, and then it didn't.
The other option is they're just kind of letting him go along.
Yeah.
And we'll just do whatever they think is correct if need be.
That feels about right.
That's probably more accurate.
Yeah.
So the creature stalks the other two for a bit, and they both, like, sort of sense it at the very last moment. Braytak pushes Malik out of the way, fights with an invisible enemy, who ends up taking his knife, using it against him, beating the shit out of Braytak. And Malik never fires.
We're in dirt-covered ground. Everybody knows that if something's invisible, you kick up the dirt.
You kick up the dirt.
And then you can see it.
And I don't know if Malik doesn't fire because he's afraid of hitting Braytak or just not knowing what to do. And a beaten Braytak then looks up at Malik with this just pain, blood-filled face, and is dragged away into the underbrush.
Yeah,
and
I'm not okay with this part.
And Malik runs to find Jack and tells him that Braytak...
I'm not okay with this part. Okay.
She was not okay with this part. So we come back from commercial, because we're on Sci-Fi now.
Yeah.
Teal'c is just choking the shit out of Malik.
Yeah.
And for not going after Braytak to save him.
I'm not laughing at the choking, but I kind of am. I'm more laughing at what happens next.
And Malik's like, well, I thought it was more important to come back and report what happens. And Ragnar is like, how are we supposed to trust the Tok'ra when you abandon the Jaffa mid-battle? Yeah. And Jack's just kind of letting this discussion happen.
He's like, no, stop.
Which really annoys Jacob. And Jacob's like, a little help. And Jack's like, Teal'c, stop.
Don't. Leave it.
But eventually they do convince Teal'c to lay off.
It's kind of like when the dog's doing something cute. You're like, okay, don't do that, but first let me get my
dog. Don't just do it for
okay, now stop.
They do eventually convince Teal'c to lay off him by telling him that this is not what Braytak would want, them turning against each other, and they're able to have an actual conversation.
Yeah.
So the thing is invisible. And they question, could it be Nirti, which would explain why Anubis knew where the Tok'ra base was, because Nirti was invisible there. And Jacob doubts that because she's like, she would never be working with Anubis. And they don't have their TERs here. So Malik suggests a high-frequency electromagnetic field, because if they can modify the wave output of the Nakoda reactor to a range of around 500, 700 nanometers, they could excite the phase particles enough to bring their light, to bring them into the visible light spectrum.
How am I doing? Are my eyes glazed? Do I look interested? Okay.
It's basically make bad guys visible.
Got it.
You can shoot people you see.
Change frequencies. I think he lost me at the numbers.
Well, the numbers are not necessarily correct.
I gotcha. Basically, you change the wavelengths so that you can see the non-visible thing.
Yes, and I'm also not. I don't know how well that is a thing that would work. So our eyes can actually see between 390 and 700 nanometers for the most part. So 390 is like close to the violet, close to the ultraviolet range, and then 700 is like red.
Mine's C8. No, I don't know. I was just being stupid.
But that, it still doesn't necessarily make any sense, because even say if they're below 390 nanometers, like they wouldn't necessarily be invisible in that you can see through them. It's like when flowers have colors that are only in the ultraviolet range. Okay. It's not like you can see through the flower.
It's just different. You don't you don't pick up the nuance.
To me, this seems more like it's bending of lights.
Yeah.
Like as if you
like the way the reflective stealth planes work.
Yeah, just fill this shit with smoke or something.
Yeah.
And then you can whatever. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
It's just.
I gotcha.
It's just a thing.
I'm sticking with kick up some dirt.
Essentially, yeah, kick up some dirt.
Kick up some dirt.
So, and also,
it works in D&D.
Just because I just thought of it, the Tok'ra uniforms are much better these days.
Yes.
Yeah, they're much better these days.
I agree. Edna mode on there.
Mm-hmm. No capes. And that sneer that Teal gives to Malik right here is cold. That is ice cold.
Yeah.
So while Sam sets up the reactor, everyone else is to guard the gates. It tried to play them all against each other. It's not going to work. And Braytek is dead, and they can't let that be.
We all have to work together.
They have to work together for freedom. Okay. So also, if the creature gets out, the alpha site is null and void and has to be abandoned, and we don't want that. So in Janet's autopsy room, she's confirmed that the bladed weapon killed both men.
Yeah, good timing.
And Teal proclaims at this point, he's like, yeah, it's probably just an Ashrak. It's basically a highly powered Gould assassin in the service of Anubis, just like the one that killed Jolinar. They're basically the galaxy's most deadly evils.
Yeah. Jerk faces. Got it. Invisible jerk faces.
Uh-huh. And outside, Sam and the Toga are prepping the reactor. It's almost there. Just a couple more minutes. And everyone else is just waiting.
What else do you do?
We get a great 360 shot from Jack's perspective. Like,
yeah. Is this the shooting shot?
This is not the shooting shot.
Okay.
We get two 360s
I've
of
been
Jack.
waiting until that.
Okay, but this one is really cool because it's just this tension.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
like, hang on, before we start, let me take a panoramic picture.
And then we see Ashrak Vision, and he's right there at the Stargate, moving around everyone.
Son of a bitch. This
time, not leaving footprints.
How does being invisible make you not leave footprints all
when you already left footprints earlier? So the Jaffa, anyways, he just starts attacking, taking people out left and right. In the process, Jaffa accidentally shoots a Tok'ra. It's literally like a friendly fire nightmare because everyone is just shooting.
Oh god, yeah.
And he leaves as quickly as he came, but he got his one goal, Pierce's GDO. Which, it's not like Pierce's fucking ID number is written on the GDO.
Yeah.
Just getting a GDO
that doesn't
mean anything.
Yeah, you still have to unlock the phone.
Because you still have to have the alphanumeric code to put into it.
Yeah. That's fair.
I mean, he has half the puzzle, but unless he's going to capture and torture someone to give the code, pretty sure no one there is going to give it up either. Right. So,
damn it.
This time Jack is pissed. He's like, no one goes after it. Everyone's standing here. You're holding the gate. Hold the door.
Oh, don't do that.
Hold the door.
Let's go somewhere nicer. You shall not pass through the gate.
Falling. Fly, you fools.
It's okay.
Falling. Okay.
It's okay, Kaylee.
And when Malik tries to argue a point, Jack has none of it. None of it.
Yeah.
Jack's like, no, shut the fuck up and go.
Yeah, shut your fucking face.
I am the captain now.
Yeah. I'm in charge. No more people dying. Ow, Kaylee.
So, work continues, and when Malik fears that they will all, perish here, basically, Ragnar's like, well, the Jaffa will fight side by side with the Tok'ra. And if need be, we will die side by side with the Tok'ra.
Oh.
So they get the frequency up to 420, the violet side of the visible range, and they
dial to 11.
And they turn it on, and ooh, it's tingly. Ooh. Ashrak is right in front of Sam, and just immediately takes a swing on her.
Yeah.
And everyone fires, and he disappears again.
Damn it! Damn it!
It's all very intense. Sam goes to turn.
This is our first shot of him, though, right?
Yes.
This is where I was like, oh, he looks like something out of Mortal Kombat.
Sam goes to try to turn the device back on. Teal'c is using those Jaffa senses and feels at the very last moment, just like Braytek had, he pushes Ragnar out of the way.
Yeah.
And this is it. Jack tells everyone to drop and picks up the gun.
Yeah.
And just lays a giant heroic slow-mo 360
shot. Where he's just like, shaking because of the giant gun that he's using. So let me tell you that I took a dinner break at work, one of those ones where you don't leave your workstation, and watch the episode. So guys around me can hear shooting, and then they hear Grace laughing, and they're like, something's not right. This doesn't sound like it should be a funny moment. And so they're very concerned for my well-being.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's a really funny moment because it's slow motion. And Jack's like, I'm the hero of the day because it's a little ridiculous.
It's beautiful. totally ridiculous, and I don't care.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's kind of awesome. Apparently, the camera guy wasn't full Kevlar.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
And so Sam gets the reactor turned back on, and it's right behind Jack. And everyone points their weapons at it.
Get him! It's the dude that looks like he's something out of Mortal Kombat.
And instead of firing his giant gun at it, Jack pulls out his knife.
Sure.
And Malik goes to stand with him, and the Ashrak is then fired at from behind and takes 3 shots to take him down. And he comes into full view as he goes down, and it's Master Motherfucking Braytag.
Yeah.
A little worse for wear.
Thank God.
But he's alive and well.
I just wrote Braytag is the best.
Braytag is the best.
Ooh, yeah.
Motherfucking Braytag.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I thought I was going to lose Braytag right there, and it was not a good feel.
So Sam, and let's be honest, if Braytag's going to go down, it's going to be in a much more heroic fashion than that.
I know, but that's why the panic set in.
So Sam takes the GDO off him, and Janet tends to Braytag. He was left for dead and couldn't move, and Junior helped him. He got back as soon as he could. And Malik owes his life to Braytag twice over now, and he hopes he can return the debt and asks Braytag to forgive him, and Braytag ponders it and then takes his arm. Aww. And then Braytag just pulls out his Shakespeare card.
Yeah.
Badass person he is. And he picks up the Ashrak's blade and announces that this single blade did what they could not. It brought them together. It has spilt the life of Jaffa, Tok'ra, and Tawri, and by the hand of their common enemy, it has made them brothers. And together, they have ensured it will never spill their blood again. And he throws it to the ground, blade down, so it sticks. And fuck, that man can make a speech.
Yeah. And we have now just created a new magical item that maybe if we play D&D, somebody finds. Ta-da!
The Ashrak blade. The Ashrak blade. And yeah.
This was fun.
It was
but
fun.
It was like
it was like a stressful fun.
Yeah. It's fun now. I say as I like grab my head for the 100th time. It's fun now. But yeah, the whole losing Braytag for a minute there was tough. It's good. It's good to address the whole Tok'ra, Jaffa thing, because absolutely that would be a thing. So it feels like the right thing to do. It's such a big episode.
It's a very big episode.
And I feel like that ending felt very Lord of the Ringsy.
Yes.
Like this is a thing that joined us together, but also
we shall be known as the Fellowship of the Blade.
Yes, of the Ashrak. I dig this one. I dig it. I like it.
It's nice because we haven't
this
done
is a good one-off.
It's a great one-off, and we haven't been able. Well, it's a one-off, but in order to really get the story, you have to at least been briefed on the history of these 3 sides.
Sure.
Because it's one of the first times that we've had all 3 sides together at once.
But I think you can get pretty quickly that, okay, there are 3 parties and there's tension between them, and we are one of the parties, and we're kind of in the middle of everything. I think I could have someone watch this one and enjoy it without knowing that much about it.
Well, if you can just give them a brief primer, is all you need.
I dig it.
So where does this go on your list?
I'm gonna do the thing again where I don't remember what anything is.
Okay.
Which one's Shadow Play? That's the one we just had with Jonas back home.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna drop Shadow Play for now. Okay. And actually, this goes right there. Allegiance.
Yeah, I'm going to Nightwalker will get bumped off my. That's not what I want to do either. Stop it. I'm killing it.
Okay, so here, while you pick yours, I'm going to say, so my new order is Descent, Abyss, Redemption, Other Guys, and Allegiance.
Yeah, and I'm just dropping Nightwalker off my list so that Redemption gets bumped down.
Okay. Yours is Abyss, Descent, Other Guys, Allegiance, and Redemption.
Yes.
Are our lists the same things but in different orders?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. And we have another Indeed. I think there was only the one in this episode. I'll come back. I'll do a search for it.
This would have been a great place for crying out loud. Like right before he goes into slow-mo shooting, he goes,
for crying out loud.
Oh,
no. I see it much more. He's like, he just, for crying, as he grabs a nonchalance, he goes, like, for crying out loud. And then just like,
he goes down.
This is how you use guns.
No, I want it to be ridiculous the same way the slow-mo is. So you get him slow-moing.
You want him to Schwarzenegger out the line.
Yeah. This has been the Schwarzenegger episode. He bookended it for us. So next week is Cure.
Huh. Not The Cure. We're not having emo.
Damn.
Grace is going to be singing a lot of The Cure next episode.
The Cure. I love The Cure. In fact, I saw The Cure fairly recently. And Mark Smith still put on a 3-hour fucking show.
Jesus Christ. I have never seen The Cure.
Good stuff.
But yes, that is the episode.
Welcome to that was it for the first video cast.
That was it for the first video cast.
How did we do? I hope it was okay.
And if you are a Patreon, we, again, thank you for getting us to this point.
Shit.
And if you haven't yet, we have the poll open for the rest of this week. So it's probably by the time this goes up a few more days that it's open. We have a poll for you. Since you guys are the ones that got us here to this point,
you decide where this goes.
Basically, we're looking for a poll, basically, and you can decide whether these videos are going to stay Patreon exclusive, so that you have to become a patron to see them, or if they will be Patreon exclusive for a month, and then a month later we will release them for the public.
Words.
Words.
Says words.
I say words.
Thanks everybody for being here. As always, you know where to find us.
And we give credit to the wonderful patrons.
Oh yes!
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Because we got to this point
because of one last patron.
That put us to 200.
We saw your extra $1. Thank you.
Yeah, we saw that increase.
So Jason Bowman,
you are awesome. Thank you so much for getting us to this point. You are the, I don't know what number, but you're the $200.
The $200 pusher over.
The pusher over of our Patreon, and you're awesome, and thank you. And as I said, I'm in the middle of moving, so soon that move will be done. And
we're in temporary quarters.
We're in temporary quarters. That's why I haven't had another car cast go up recently. It's a couple of things. But it's the move. It's a weird time.
It's the end of the semester. It's the moving time. It's all the things. God, how did I move? And then the semester last year. How am I not dead?
I don't know, because you're also podcasting at the same time. Yeah. I'm not sure. You also weren't like building wood countertops for your kitchen as well.
Well, yeah, because I'm not insane.
That's part of the delay.
Yeah. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. You know where to find us. On Twitter, we're at Terra Podcast.
On Facebook, we're at There's No Place Like Terra. I almost ended without saying all that. No, Facebook and There's No Place Like Terra.
You can email us at theresnoplaceliketerra@gmail.com.
And patreon.com/There's No Place Like Terra. Rate us, like us, review us on your favorite podcast entity streaming app thing. Apple Podcasts.
I don't know.
It's not iTunes anymore.
Words. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Bye.